Thank you. Recording in progress. Heads up. Welcome to our latest webinar, Creating Content That Converts with Edgely Marketing, aka their owner, their in charge person, Nick George. So I'm going to bring everybody in. We have Jess, our VP of Marketing, over here as well too. So let's get them in here so we can get started. All right. Right. Where did they go? Here we go. Okay. All right, so here we go. Jess, Nick, we're excited to have you guys with us today.
Hello.
Um, we are talking all things content that are going to convert. So, quick introductions. I'm Haley, the corporate social media manager over here with AnnieMac, and I'm also a realtor now for 11 years. So, when it comes to what agents are looking for, different types of marketing that they could be looking for, I use that stuff in my AnnieMac world. So, we have Jess and Nick here, and this is going to be great. Jess, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then Nick will hand it over to you.
Sure thing. I am Jessica Reed, VP of Marketing here at Annie Mac. I'm so excited to be here today and join you guys. I focus on all things branding, recruiting, PR, also working with the agent side of things. I've had my fair share of experience at other mortgage companies, and I'm so excited to be a part of the Annie Mac family, helping get the Annie Mac name out there, helping our loan officers feel empowered for their personal brand, focused on things social media and events related. Anything that falls into that wheelhouse, that is what I focus on.
Perfect. Nick, before you jump in, I want to give everyone a heads up on why you're here. So, Nick is a part of Edgely Marketing Group, and he does something different than what you typically see online. He's taking you behind the scenes of what people are doing in the everyday and really working to turn a normal day in a restaurant, in a mortgage office, into content. So, Nick, tell us a little bit about how you've built an audience of more than almost 90,000 on TikTok and how Edgely kind of got started.
Yeah, I just want to start off with this the first time I've ever done this, and I'm petrified, even though 79 people is a lot to me. Um, I just had a normal marketing job out of college, but I graduated 2020, so that job went away. And I don't know, I'm currently in Tampa, and it took me a few years to kind of get my own style, but the thing that kind of like my thought process was growing up in Jersey, there's a lot of small businesses. Nobody really went to the corporate chains. And in Tampa, you didn't really have that. There was a lot. It's like Outback Steakhouses are here everywhere. That's where that was born. But there were a few small businesses where you really got to know the owner and know who the people working behind the businesses. And it kind of clicked with a pizzeria here, and he's actually from Jersey, but yeah, we just started filming just the normal day-to-day stuff that happened, and people resonated with it. And I remember seeing a comment being like, I feel like I know everybody without actually ever being there. And that's how I felt with my hometown pizzeria and my hometown ice cream shop. So I was like, all right, if I can that magic of the hometown small business, if you can bottle that up and put that online to where you're getting a comment like that, we have something there. And then it's kind of, devolved into a reality show with Burger 25. But we do try and still showcase the magic behind it. I say Burger 25 because the Annie Mac branch that I work with is Steve. That's another one of Steve Vetter's companies. I'm sure people know who he is, but yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know if people know who he is. I have no idea.
Steve Vetter is one of our awesome branch managers here. If you don't have the pleasure of knowing who he is and knowing who the 18 branches, they are based in our Toms River, New Jersey location. And he is an awesome story and also owns Burger 25, I have not been lucky enough to ever have one of their burgers or milkshakes. It makes me very upset every day, and I wish I could have one. But he works with Edgley for Burger 25, and so
Yeah,
now.
that's how I got into this because normally I wouldn't touch real estate with a 10-foot pole because I have done this before. Like, and it's very difficult because you guys move. It's like hurry up and wait a lot of it. And in that hurry up, I have to physically be there for the most part. And it's been a struggle in the past. But I mean, it's still a struggle every day, but it's all good.
That's a great way to describe the mortgage and real estate industry. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. That's a
Spot
great way
on.
to say it.
Spot on. So, Nick, you're creating content that people are actually watching, something that's authentic and that. So, what would you say since you left that previous marketing job? What has changed in the last 5 or 6 years when it comes to marketing and social media?
I would say that originally you could just have a nice camera and post high quality things in 4K, but now I personally think that you people like to follow people more than ever and like the stories. I think human interaction is like the most interesting thing that people like to watch. That's why with the Tom's River branch, we try and film as many like phone calls, like real life phone calls as possible. Um, but yeah, it's my philosophy with like filming is there needs to be intro, conflict, resolution. Like that's what makes a good video. It is difficult when you're like filming kind of my style where it's just you just start film for 30 minutes and then stop and then you like figure it out in the edit. But that's like a big thing that I like every video should have a conflict. Now that conflict should be it doesn't have to be something like we're about to lose this deal, but like you want to have some tension, I guess is the word for it. And that's kind of my style.
Okay, I like it. So, something that Nick does basically, Nick, give us a quick rundown of what you do when you head into Burger, when you head into the office or something like that. You said 30 minutes of straight filming. So, the
Yeah,
magic
just don't
is the edit.
stop. It's I'm in your face asking questions and really just trying to like pry because like what happened the thing that people don't necessarily realize is that your day-to-day life is interesting to someone. You just have to curate it the right way. So a lot of the time is like I'm asking questions to try and get the things out of you that I know could be interesting for a specific video. Um, I guess like a lot of it is just like coming in and reacting. We're actually I don't know if anybody cares about this, but we're starting a new thing with the Tom's River office, and I mean, two out of the three people don't know about it. But like, I'm having Ant just send like prop his phone up just like on a water bottle like this and just film himself. Because at the end of the day, like I'm there like once a week, once every 2 weeks, and sometimes when I go for those days, it's not super action packed. So like I know we'll get into this later of like how like tips to help you guys create content, but like legitimately I would just Ant just puts his phone like that and just films himself and after 5 minutes he forgets the phone is there recording and then he just uploads the footage for me and I just see if I can create any sort of content from it. And I think that's like a good way to kind of like react. Like it's that's kind of like the same philosophy as where it's like we're not scripting anything. It's like real life stuff, and it's just like finding the moments in that real life stuff to post.
Exactly. So when you're saying finding those moments and things like that, I know we talked briefly about UGC, so user generated content versus things that are super polished.
Hmm.
The UGC content tends to perform a bit better these days, right?
Yeah, I've been told I'm not allowed to curse on this, but like if you see a video of me online, like I curse like a sailor and I'm from Jersey. Like I'm from South Jersey, Philly, Jersey. So I grew up and like that's I don't really care to either. Like that's the biggest thing. Like I'm not trying to portray myself. Like I wore my nice quarter zip for this, but like normally I would be in a t-shirt. Um I don't I personally think that like whoever you are, you should be authentic. Now, not everybody is I see I was about to curse there, but not everybody is obnoxious like myself. If you want to portray, like if you're selling, if you're doing like $5 million loans, yeah, you probably shouldn't be. cursing or like being super crazy online. You should portray yourself to a certain audience, but just know that like people that can afford $5 million homes, that is a much smaller audience than people that can afford a $500,000 house. So if you get 100 views looking like that, you never know who those 100 people are, but like you're not appealing to the masses. So don't like I like have been gone. I've gone on three different tangents on off one question. So if you need to rein me in, do it. But uh, yeah, I don't care about how I am perceived online. I just am myself, and I find it to be more beneficial of my time because if you don't like me for real, I can only put up an act for so long, and we will like the business partnership will decombust. So. I know it's a little
Well,
different for you guys, but like you do
no,
have
I
it on.
think that resonates, and I think people are craving that sort of like authenticity when they're scrolling, when they're looking at things, and it just feels like natural and organic. Have you found that in the sense of like success in whether it be the Edgely account itself or some of your client accounts or the A team, like that people feel like they resonate with the authentic content more than anything that you've done in the past that's maybe a little bit more like structured?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you put yourself out there, you're opening yourself up for good and also bad. So like, I mean, the hate, the haters' money is still green. So like you just gotta like it's old, it doesn't necessarily like I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. Like
There's
the
no such thing as bad publicity almost when it comes to online.
almost there is, but
Almost.
almost. But like I just think it converts better. Like I feel like you with whether you know it or not, you know when someone's being like putting a voice on for the camera. Like I was just at a news station yesterday and I was talking to the anchors normally, and then their news voice was like 5 octaves higher. And I was like, well, this is why nobody watches the news because it's insane. And it was like a small little station here that I mean the videos we made for the client behind the scenes has 10 times the amount of views than the actual live segment had because the behind the scenes content is actually more interesting than like the TV voices online. And I think that kind of is the same thing with social media where it's like I personally would rather see the realness. Now, obviously, if you're like struggling, like don't post that, but like post your wins. And like if you have a small little blunder, like okay, like that's fine. But you want to really like highlight your wins in a way that is tasteful. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is just being real and authentic throughout the entire process. Again, I don't know if I answered your question at all, but like
Yeah, no, you're
trying
great.
to hit all the fancy words and everything.
You're doing great. I think, and I know we kind of talked about this in the beginning, that you actually has all different kinds of clients. You do hot hair, which is a hair salon, bagels, Burger 25. Now you
Like a
help.
farm.
Oh yeah, Carms Farms. You do all
Yeah.
different kinds of things. Tell us, because this is obviously a real estate and mortgage audience, what has been the most surprising thing that you've learned in working in this space?
Well, I think it's really important to know that my barometer for success has needed to like come down a huge amount because I've tried to fire myself twice from Annie Mac because I'm like, we're not receiving results. Like this is not like my results are views. Like in my opinion, I can't get someone to make a sale, but I can get eyeballs on your business. And like my normal amount of eyeballs in a month are much higher for other clients than Annie Mac. But I've had to have the Tom's River office be like, hey, the right eyeballs are seeing us. We don't necessarily care about people in Arizona, California watching our videos. We feel it in the community of people seeing it, realtors seeing it, different loan officers seeing it. Um, so that's been like the biggest thing I've had to learn where it's like, when you go so niche as like not even just mortgage, but like mortgages in Tom's River, New Jersey, you really have to change the mindset of like only 700 views. No, no, no. 700 local people saw that, and you don't know who they know that can potentially see the video and recommend it to a friend. I think like one of my days where I told them, I was like, the second time I tried to fire myself, 2 or 3 days later, some random kid, 24 years old, walked in, like cold call, like just no appointment, and did
Right.
a
Yeah.
loan with Steve, like super fast. And he was like, yeah, I saw it on TikTok. So that was like the one thing where I was just like, all right, you know what? If people are actually seeing this, like, I don't know if it's like it's hard to put a direct return on investment, but like something
Mhm.
like that, I can be like, all right, if someone is seeing it so much that they came in on a whim and did a refi, then how many people are seeing it and it's just not the right time for them right now?
Right.
It's like when they are ready to make a transaction or to refi, they will reach out. It's more of a long play in this industry of like brand building instead of like a restaurant where it's like, okay, return on investment can be seen like within days instead of necessarily months.
Yeah.
So that's been like the frustrating thing because I mean, I'm sure out of the 93 people here, you would like someone's gonna look up A Team Annie Mac and be like, oh, they only got 900 views. My stuff only got 900 views too, and I agree with you because I'm like, we did have an account that was doing a lot better, and then it got shadow banned, and then it's gone and over. But it is very frustrating. To see that, but then you have to like change your mindset of like, all right, but it's 900 people in Tom's River that could potentially uh make a transaction one day. So,
And sometimes too, I feel like mortgages, luckily you have Jess to help you with tiptoeing that line on what's,
oh
compliant,
yeah,
what's not safe to put out. Where a restaurant, you walk in and you say, yeah, that food was amazing, but
yeah.
it's not quite the same. How do you help them tiptoe that line with Jess's assistance?
I mean, we just kind of film everything, and then Jess just she hasn't denied anything in a while, which is awesome. But there was a little series that not only did Jess deny, but the whole team denied as well. That would have been great. Like I'm like losing my mind because I was like, this will get eyeballs on your business, but they're like, it's not worth the potential blowback. So it's been a bit of a learning curve, but you do have to toe the line. Like for example, yesterday, if you look at the video from yesterday, I on purpose waited until yesterday to post it so I could reference it in this because I was stressing about this. Um, Steve was on the phone with someone who carries like dead bodies away for their job. And he was trying to get them to qualify. And that was their profession. And it was difficult because the work is inconsistent and it's only 125. Like that's insane. So, and
Mhm.
like, I would say that's probably towing the line, but Jess approved it. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's great
great.
story. That's great story. Nothing too regulatory there.
Yeah.
Let me
That
ask
is,
you a question though.
Hello.
that was,
Someone just said something.
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Yeah.
oh,
I'm gonna share the video so everyone can check that out.
oh, great.
Yeah.
I think that's such a good point though that you made, Nick, and I'm just like shaking my head at the same time because I feel like most, if you're whether you're a real estate agent or a loan officer listening to this, can probably resonate with the fact that social media feels frustrating. And to Haley's point and to your point, Nick, like when you go into a restaurant or you go in to get your hair done, it's like immediate return on investment, immediate satisfaction. And like if I wanted to go to Burger if I lived in New Jersey, if I wanted to go to Burger 25 every day, like I could. You're not looking to purchase a home every single day. You're not looking to refinance your home every single day. So it is very much that hurry up and wait. So that frustration can feel very real. But I think to your point, it's just like a mindset shift. So this is just an encouragement to anyone that's listening. Like it's important to just get started and to just be doing something. You'd rather be doing something than nothing and reaching these, I'll say like younger demographics, these younger audiences of people who are using TikTok as a search platform. Instead of going to Google, they're now going to TikTok and they're looking at people's videos of, am I getting educated by you? Do you have any reviews? What are the comments like? Like this younger generation, I feel like is shifting more towards, I mean, even me, like I'll go to TikTok and search things. I searched how to make a tortilla bowl like 2 days ago for dinner. It's just like it's just an easy way to get quick answers. And so this is just no
And
question,
you'd be
just an
surprised
encouragement.
how old of a demographic is actually on TikTok too. Like it's whether, and when I say TikTok, I kind of just mean the vertical scroll. So like
Hmm.
Reels as well. But
Yeah.
like 400, like you got to imagine 400 people in a room. Like it would be a ton of people.
Right.
So, and also like the other thing too. consistency is huge. Like you really have to be consistent. You can't just like have if you're gonna put yourself out there, I always say like just do it for a month. Like just have and if you're uncomfortable with doing it, then just like batch enough videos to where you have 20 videos that you can post Monday through Friday for 4 weeks straight and just like commit to it and don't look at the views because all you need is one of those views to be your next buyer and then all of a sudden it's like oh that's the other thing too it's like you really have to it's hard to believe in it until you see direct return on investment which is why this industry is difficult for me because that could be one day that could be 6 months down the line someone was like oh yeah I've been following you for a while I've been getting myself ready to refi or I've been waiting for rates to go down to reach out because I know I'm not serious until it's below a certain amount or something like that it is like I feel like right now with the Tom's River spot, we're putting a lot of the groundwork in now so that hope, and it's hard right now, like the industry's hard right now, so that hopefully when it gets a little bit easier and there's a bit more of an influx of people inquiring, they're going to be inquiring to the Tom's River branch instead of another one, something like that.
I think
Right.
what you said like brings us to like a good point of if like just batching videos. So talk to us a little bit about like what are some because somebody also had a great question in here that I see you, Liz, and I will get to that question. Um, what's like a good place for somebody to get started who has never done videos in general. Like I think your suggestion for what Anthony is doing with just setting your phone up is great, but what are a couple tips that you can give to our people listening here of like how to just start?
Okay, so the biggest thing in my opinion, that helped me because I was the worst on camera and I still am not great, but I'm able to kind of get through it because the people on the other side of the camera are trusted. Like they're in my circle. So, for example, if you are uncomfortable sitting there filming yourself, welcome to the club. It's about 99% of the human population. What you might be a little bit better at is flipping the phone around and having a trusted member of your team film you because there's a reason there's a director on the set because like someone needs to see the full picture. And I'm not calling holding an iPhone a director, but like if you stumble over a word you're thinking about 10 like what you're going to say, you might not catch it in the moment, and the person behind the camera might be able to catch it for you.
Hmm.
Also, when you have someone physically behind a camera, it feels more like you're talking to a person instead of talking to a digital screen.
Hmm.
So I just found that for me, having someone that I trust film me is 10 times easier still to this day than uh like setting my phone up. Like I give Anthony credit because I think the thing that really helps him is he has two phones. So one of his phones is filming and then the other one he's actively on. So he kind of forgets about it after 5 minutes. But and I mean, I'm sure if he's watching this, I'm sure you feel the uncomfortableness the first 5 minutes. I can see his shoulders relax after 5 minutes when he forgets that the phone is there. It's very difficult to like look at the camera and do
Hmm.
it. It's almost I would encourage someone to like whether the next sale you have, whatever, like when that paper signs and instead of like celebrating with your team, just take a beat, give your phone to someone else, film it, and just like talk about what 6 weeks took leading up to get to this moment right there. And that's like the best type of video, in my opinion, is like, okay, like we finally got this across the finish line. These are all the conflicts that happened, but this is how we resolved it. And this is why you should work with us because we can overcome all those conflicts. I think that's like the biggest thing. And if you're looking for stuff to post, if you're like, well, I don't really have any conflicts, I guarantee that there is. I mean, I've heard enough conflicts from the Toms River office just with the corporate office, not even with clients, just like something with the income or whatever. Like I still am learning the terms, but there is always conflicts. The one and then the last tip I'll give is if you record someone over the phone, just check your local state laws. In New Jersey, you can do it. In Florida, you can do it. I normally encourage my the officers to send the video or just like make sure it's okay before you post it, just so people don't hear their voice. But anytime you have someone on, anytime you're recording a phone call, you just have to, like, if you're in Arizona, is one of the states that I know that you have to get their consent before even recording the
Yeah.
phone call. So
Yeah.
that's like one of those things that I guess that's two tips for you. Have someone
No,
else film it, and then if you're recording a phone call, make sure you get consent if you're in a state.
Anthony is watching. He put something in the chat, and I think this resonates with other people too. And Liz, I actually think this kind of answered your question. Um, that there are conversations that he's already having, and he's just recording it. It's his work that he's already doing, and it's just so happens to then be recorded. So, for anyone who couldn't see it, Liz had a question. She said, "How would you balance a corporate setting with making content that people actually do want to watch?" Which I think is the Tom's River branch a corporate setting? Maybe
No,
not
no.
not quite, but it doesn't negate the fact of like, I think your suggestion still rings true of having somebody else like potentially record and
The one thing I would say
yeah.
with the corporate, if you are going corporate, or if you're a little bit more, if you graduated high school, unlike the Tom's River branch, um, the you make videos that you would go home and you're be excited to show who's ever at home. So like I don't know what that is for everybody. Like it's very hard for me to give that answer, but like I know when I make a sale, I run home and I tell my fiance and I'm like, I just made this sale. Like, hell yeah, this is all the shit that happened. Oh, I see, I did it, did it. This is all the
Okay.
stuff that happened. Um, and like we have a little celebration. Bottle that up, film it, and then
Mhm.
that's the type of stuff that you, in my opinion, makes the best videos. If you are excited to show your spouse, your friends, if you are comfortable posting it on your own personal channels, that is a good video, in my opinion. That's the secret formula, in my opinion. Like I was very what is that word when you like are insecure? I was super insecure about posting myself online at first, and it kind of takes a little bit to get over it, but now I'm at the point where I'm like proud to post some of the videos, not all of them, but some of them, and I like will be excited to show my dad, like my 56-year-old dad. Like my 56-year-old dad is on TikTok and like enjoys the content that I'm posting. I don't care if it has one view or a million views. My dad likes it. That's all I care about. And if, like if my dad continues to be locked into what we have going on, I know I'm doing something right. I would encourage you guys to kind of do the same thing. If your audience is, if you're looking to go, so corporate, if your normal buyer or refi, whatever that word is someone older, then have someone in your life that is that age, that is that archetype of personality, and be excited to show them that video. You don't even have to show them, but like, hey, Tom, would Tom watch this video all the way through? If that answer is no, then you're not making the right content. You got to figure out something that would be good to show that person. And like your ideal buyer should reflect that person. Like the people that I deal with are, I mean, Steve just turned 50. So like my dad's 56. I mean, my dad's old and Steve's really old. So it's like, you know, if my dad
To,
likes it, Steve will like it.
That's
fair.
that's
To
a good
touch on that same thing though, when we're talking about bottling that up, what do you suggest for people when it comes to having a plan and just kind of being spontaneous?
I'm big on React. I don't really like having a plan. I have a plan for intros. Like you want to have a hook that works. However, in the beginning when you're still figuring yourself out, just be excited to film. That if you're dreading it, it's you're not doing it right. You have to have an environment where you're having fun, you're excited to do it. Um, I would say that, and like I thought a lot about like what the best first video would be, and I thought it would be the like the oh I just like made a sale or like I just helped like at the end of the day you're helping people, so like showcasing that is easy content, but also I think the bigger like if you don't have anything in the pipeline or whatever, what are you currently going through that's a struggle where it's like if you are frustrated with the rates, okay, how, like, you're not the only one. How can people get creative and kind of get out, or like let's bring value to that person that is also feeling what you're feeling, like, and be excited about that, because you never know who's going to see the video. But like, I know I want to refi, but I can't. But I know that Greg, who's at the Tom's River branch, taught me about a recast in the short term, and I didn't even know what a recast was. So we made a whole video about a recast. And like, that is something that, like, yes, it's not going to put money in your pocket in the short term, but I know, like, oh, if Greg taught me about a recast, he probably would be able to help me with a refi. And like, that is providing value that might not pay off the next day like a restaurant would, but in 6 months, if the rates go down and I'm looking to refi, like, that is something that I would like, oh, Greg helped me recast. Maybe he would be able to help me refi. It's just stuff like that.
Yeah, brand awareness.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like brand building. It's like you're trying to place yourself as an expert in the industry so that when people have questions, or when people are like, I don't know what's going on, can you help me? You're the one they call.
You're educating at the same time too.
Yeah.
So and you're building that trust and relationship, hopefully, with the viewer on the other side of the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I think we
How's this
have.
going? We're halfway through.
You're doing a great job. You really
Did
are.
you see my shoulders kind of go down about 10 minutes in? Like, it's everybody. It's, you
You're
gotta,
feeling good.
You're
yeah.
doing great. I
I'm
think in the
sweating
same
though. I
line.
want to take this quarter zip off.
I think people are like resonating with like the tips that we're giving them. Tell us about like how often you should be posting, because I feel like that is, some people have opinions here and some people have opinions there. So from your experience, what have you found to be successful and how often you should post?
I, well, it's tough because, and I'm gonna use Burger 25, the restaurant, as an example. We do Monday through Friday. And some months it's really easy to get Monday through Friday, like every single week. So that's, in 1 month, it's between 20 and 22 posts. Some months it's easy, and I like send Steve and the family like 20 videos off of one day. And then there's other months where it's like I'm there 5 different times to get these 20 videos, and I'm losing my mind. So I would say that the whatever cadence you think that you can handle for a month, you should start out with. So if that's once a week, like you have time on Fridays, like right before, like instead of leaving the office early, you just like get a Friday video done and you post it on Monday, or you post it on Friday afternoon, whatever. Whatever you think you can do it, but you have to create the rule for yourself and you have to follow it. The second you make an excuse for, oh, I'm too busy, I can't do the video today, you'll never do it. It has to be like, I'm hardwired like that. Like, if I have a rule for myself, like, I will follow the rule, but if I break it once, I'm never following it again. So like, I would say a good start is twice a week. Tuesday, Thursday is like our what we do. That's the least amount of stuff we do for people. But if that is even too much for you, I would say like just Friday before you leave the office, just even if it's just a recap of what you did Monday through Friday, like just get the reps in so you can kind of relax with it. And the I just saw a question, how much time should you spend shooting content and editing? Make it easy for yourself. Like 5 minutes of like gathering your thoughts, 5 minutes filming, and then depending on how good you are at editing, it could be anywhere between like five and it shouldn't be more than like 20 minutes if it's only 5 minutes of footage. Or you could just no cutting at all. Like, if you are the type of person that can talk, just set the phone up and talk and just throw it out there. It's better than nothing. So
Mhm.
I would say, to bring it back, I would really challenge everybody to do Tuesday, Thursday, and that is videos of yourself, not a post, not not like any no AI. I'm like very anti AI when it comes to content, because it's just
Mhm.
like have you guys noticed that every Claude graphic is the same exact thing? Like, Claude just has its own, it drives me nuts. I had a client do it today. Video should be like, the whole point of this style of video is to make it as easy as humanly possible. And so it's as authentic as humanly possible. The second you put AI into it, It's done. Even AI editors too. I'm pretty anti AI editor. It will get to a point where it will probably be a tool, but right now it's not good enough. And I hate captions too. I hate captions.
I
Well,
noticed
we
that you
love
don't use
captions.
captions.
We love
Yeah.
I
captions
think
here at
it's
Interact.
stupid. I just like put the sound on. I don't know. There are people that like swear by captions.
Calling people out.
There's so many people that like don't watch Instagram Reels with sound, and I think you're a crazy person. So
No,
I'm not.
I am one of those people.
That's her.
Yeah, that's
I would
crazy.
take
That's
out the
crazy. I
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned editing. We had two people ask uh, what editing software tools
Tools. Yeah.
should you use, or should you be editing directly in the TikTok app? Does that help optimize your video for viewership? Talk to us about that?
I don't think any of those things work. The only trick that I would say is posting in the morning. Normally, like I've just over the years, sometimes I post in the afternoon and it blows up, but like I would say I normally try and get my posts up before noon. But editing app, uh, I think the TikTok app is the best editing, like no purchase necessary app. The real like Instagram pisses me off. Facebook is the worst one ever. You can get CapCut, which is basically just like TikTok editor in a different app. But
Mhm.
um but I like the TikTok app the best. I just think it's the most intuitive and easiest to learn. And you can watch a 5-minute YouTube tutorial on how to edit on the TikTok app, and you'll have some 12-year-old girl be a wizard and teach it to you in 2 seconds. So I like that the best. If you do nerd out about this stuff, I use Final Cut Pro for my editing. I don't edit anything on the TikTok app. Like I don't edit anything on my phone. I grew up on iMovie, which is just like the free. Final Cut Pro is the paid version of iMovie. It used to be $300 flat, but I don't know what it is now. It's a monthly subscription now. Um, I like to see all my things not on my phone. Like I like to go do not disturb, start editing, stop editing on my computer because also with the mouse it's a little bit easier. So I would say if you wanted to go if you're struggling on your phone, just start with iMovie on the computer. If you find that that is a tool that really helps you, then I personally suggest Final Cut Pro as the editing software of choice. It's just the
Yeah,
easiest.
for sure. We had somebody else ask a great question. Because I know TikTok does like two different length of videos. What's like the ideal length videos?
I It's tough for me because I we like to have our videos be longer.
Mhm.
I'm very anti-trend. I like to have that just like substance. Sometimes it's not even conflict resolution, but it's just like substance in the video needs, especially those Tom's River guys, they can talk. It is hard to get it under a minute. I don't like anything too much over a minute, but like for me, the 45 to 60 second is kind of my sweet spot. But I would say if you're starting out, like that's just my style. If you're starting out, you would want to do at least 20 to 40 seconds is a good range to kind of start out in. But you'll find, I mean, explaining why the rates are go up or like explaining what a HELOC is versus a HE loan, you're gonna be filming yourself for 5 minutes and nobody will watch it past like 3 minutes. It's like a skill to explain it to like you gotta try and do it, explain it to a toddler almost, where it's like I think you'll find you over talk versus under talk, and you'll be editing it down instead of trying to like stretch it out the edit. So I would say 20 seconds to max 60 seconds. And if you're at like 80 seconds, it's not going to kill you, but definitely don't post like 10-minute videos on TikTok.
Makes sense. I
But
think
again, we're not doing millions of views like Burger 25 on Animax. So if you post 10-minute videos on your account and it does well, I email me and we will start doing that.
right. Let's talk about, I'm curious, like any successful series that you've done. Like I know, like I would categorize like your intern accounts as almost like a
Yeah.
series. And if you're not familiar with Edgely Interns and the lore behind that, I highly suggest going to their
I just
TikTok.
have these kids work for me right out of college that are just idiots. idiots. Like they're just
Angels.
so dumb.
They're
Angels.
great
They're
though.
so
Keeping
dumb. I don't
angels.
know if they're watching this right now, but they're just so dumb. But they're not actually dumb. They're actually really, really smart. But we just it's a bit of a shtick. Like the dumb intern is a character that you can use to your advantage of like we have a video coming out next week for the Tom's River office, and I thought that it was the most edgely-esque video we've done in a while where a client is not answering the phone. Like they are reading text messages and not answering. And someone is coming to Anthony being like, I can't get them to effing respond. And Anthony's like, I don't like it's just like not assistant, but like assistant coming to boss with problem is
Mm-hmm.
relatable. And that problem just so happens to be like in this industry. And it's also like it shows like what the other side is. Like I'm sure everybody doesn't want to talk to their mortgage broker or mortgage lender 24/7. So like it shows the other side of like, oh, when I am avoiding my loan officer, like this is what they're doing on that side. And it's a little it's I don't know, I had fun editing that video. And that's kind of like plays into like the intern thing. Like dumb intern is a stereotype. So like I really play into that. They also are just dumb and do mess up a lot. But now it's like we're kind of figuring out these new roles because my dumb intern is now like very successful running my
Amazing.
Tampa office.
Amazing. I
Yeah.
love her. I love her so much.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about Lucian. I've got a guy here and I've got a girl in Jersey. They both were dumb interns and now they're like they really got their shit together. And then my current intern is also like I didn't even yell at her once this year. She's just like actually really smart. So she was not the dumb intern at all. But I mean,
Amazing. She kicked
she's
it.
great. She's great. Everybody's great. But
They're all great. Shout out to
I
Cami.
think there's
Shout out
like
to
a
Carrie.
lot
Yeah.
of
Shout out to Cami. She's my favorite.
I think there's a lot of similarities that you could do at the office where it's like there are roles. Like Steve has a role at the Tom's River office. Anthony has a role at the Tom's River office, and it's just like you want to play into that as much as possible.
Yeah.
And like Farron is someone at the Tom's River office that like I haven't necessarily been able to like pick her out, but like I know she's gonna be so good because she is like the problem solver. She's the one that's like actually goes and talks to the clients, but like we haven't like there's a role for everyone and you got to like figure out the best way to do it. And you can kind of like play on like just normal corporate stereotypes
Yeah.
with that with trying to be as respectful as possible because I can call my interns dumb, but nobody else can.
Right. Right.
And you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
Like we were having a lot of conversations behind the scenes of like, hey, are you comfortable with this? All my employees approve every single video. So it's like it's
Yeah.
yeah.
I think a great example of that, and I think I don't know because I know you said it got shadow banned. I don't know if it's on this new account, is
Can
for
we
the
talk about the shadow ban too?
oh
It's
okay.
just like I'm so like that's the other thing too, where it's like you think you could know everything, but we said one word, like Greg's story revolves around gambling of how he got into the industry. And that word you can't put on TikTok. It shadow banned their account that had like 2,800 followers. They were averaging like 5,000 views a video at one point. And in one post, one time, the entire thing like did not like we went from 5,000 to 100 views like that. And it never
Mhm.
came back. I tried like a million different things and nothing worked. And I also think it might have gotten the main Annie Mac account shadow banned as well, to the point where we just completely wiped it. I deleted it
Yeah.
and started over from scratch. So that's like another thing too, where it's like you do want to like not all press is good press. Like, yes, it's a great story of how like Greg like got into the industry and like turned his life around, but like now I know that you can't use the G word ever again on any sort of social media. And it's like you're gonna have roadblocks like that. And I mean, I post 15 times a day for 15 different clients every single day. That word had never come up. Like it had been
Right.
so, and it's just like now we know, like never say the G word. So it's frustrating, but go on, sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, I just was gonna say there was a content, it wasn't even like a series that you did, but I think it's a great example for what you could do if you're in like a branch setting, even a real estate agent's office, is when the our lovely A team was doing their beginning of year business plans, or I'll say lack of completing.
Yeah, they just wouldn't do it. And then everybody from the corporate
They
office
wouldn't do
would be
it. So
pissed.
there's this great video of the branch running around slightly chaotic, trying to be like, who's doing the business plan? I'll do it, but you have to do payroll, but I need to call my manager because the Excel's not working and just going back and forth. And so that is a really good example. If you're in a real estate office, if you are a loan officer yourself, or if you're in a kind of, just office setting in general, at the end of the day, most people have beginning of year goals, mid-year, end year goals. That is like a very easy thing to go and post about and make it funny. And that one was hilarious to me because I have to hear about the business plans in other areas of the company. So I just thought I found it quite comical that they had not completed theirs yet. But it was a good example nonetheless.
And like another thing too is if like I always like a good way to kind of like poke fun at like a newer agent is like if they do have a mess up, and I'm sure there are a lot of mess ups in the process, you could film it and you kind of like poke fun at them, but the whole video is kind of showing like, hey, we have systems in place to make sure nobody actually messes up. And like that could be used as a recruitment tool of like, hey, like I understand why you did this, but this is what you actually need to do. And that can be used for like as a consumer like, or as a potential client, I could see that and be like, oh, they actually like know what they're like have their S word together. Like they are they're educated, they know what they're doing. I would be comfortable having a conversation with them about my personal situation. It's just like any like if you're being educational to a new employee, just film it and that can be used like that could be good content. Like that learning lesson can be used to post online and that can potentially gain more employees or clients. That's like a lot of what I do, to be honest, but I do it in a much more obnoxious way.
Mhm. A perfect way, if you ask me. We have a question in the chat too, and I'm kind of curious about this as well. B-roll. Somebody said, what's a good way to get real life personality from people, a brand, without getting them on camera?
Yeah, I'm pretty anti B-roll with this style. I personally think that you need the face. Like I understand that like when I bought my little condo, I never actually saw the guy. I just saw his like email slug with his picture. But I think that it's really important if you're going to be dealing with someone's potentially the biggest transaction in their life, you in my opinion, you should feel not obligated, that's not the right word, but like you should feel comfortable like putting yourself out there and like saying, "Hey, like I can handle this." And I know some people don't want to put themselves out there and that's fine, but like my style, like the reason why I'm here is because I'm very camera facing, like forward facing, and that's all of my clients are as well. So like I wouldn't be the person to talk to of like how do I film someone that doesn't want to be on camera because a lot of times like with my business, I'm like, oh, okay, like you're not a good fit for us. Like find someone else.
Right. And that can be harder to make people watch too. B-roll isn't quite as engaging as,
Boring.
filming
You
a
want to see
conversation.
people's facial expressions. I want to see the vein popping out of Steven Vetter's head. I want to see that.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You're bringing that out. So we've got about 10 minutes left. I want to talk a little bit about engagement. When you guys are engaging with other accounts or you have secret accounts like the hydrangea account, which we're
That's a
all,
real person.
I loved it. I want to know who. What do you, quick tips, hits, things like that when it comes to engagement?
So when we first started out, I always like to see one comment on the hardest comment to get is the first comment. And I had people like we created fake accounts to just like make the first comment. I have no shame in that. I would still do it again. But like now we have a bit of a following, so we have people that will make the first comment. It's very rare for a video to have no comments for 24 hours for us. But but yeah, if you are like really struggling to the point where you're doing all the things, you're posting and it's got like and it's no engagement, no comments, then I would say one, On Instagram, start with trial reels. So there's a little button on the bottom where it's like that's more like the TikTok algorithm where will just like send it to a bunch of people, not just your followers. So on Instagram, do trial reels. And then two, I would really like I don't even know. I would just like encourage your office, like, hey, like if everybody engages with everybody, like because like secret accounts are like, I think the last resort. I don't think you need to do that because that's a lot of effort. You don't need to do that. I would just like encourage your team to like, I don't know if you have Slack or GroupMe or whatever, but just like if you make a video and you put a lot of time in it, just be honest. Be like, hey, I would love if you guys would comment on this. Like, really proud of this video. Like
Yeah.
that's the type of energy you should have when you film a video. Like I feel good about this. I want people to see it. So my circle that is at my office, high tide raises all ships. So if I'm doing well, you will be doing well too. Like that's how the universe works. Please comment and like share this or what. Like you don't even need to share it. Just like comment and like it, or just like it in general. That would be
Yeah.
the biggest thing. But if you're by yourself, then no shame in a little secret account. Just don't make it obvious.
Nobody has to know.
Yeah.
Somebody asked about KPIs. I know we talked a little bit about views. Do
I'm the
you do
worst
a
with
lot of
this.
that?
I don't do any of this. I actually have a client that just started asking for analytics, and I'm like,
Wrong.
I'm doing it, but it's just dumb. Like I don't know. It's a feel thing, and like that's like why I really tried. I'm it's not kidding. I tried to fire myself twice from Andy Mac because I'm not the one feeling it. Like I can't go into the place and feel like, oh, like you're seeing these videos more, like people are noticing, like it really is a feel thing. Um, so no, I don't really do KPIs, but like if you'll know when it's working, when people from your personal life are reaching out, being like, oh, I saw your videos, like they're great. And even if they're the haters, like just if you see it, like it's the same. The You need haters. Like that's the biggest thing too. Like you need those negative comments. And I love to go back at people, but yeah, I don't know. So no KPIs for me. And Steve, I'm not doing
That's why you work well with Steve,
KPIs.
because
Yeah.
Steve's not into KPIs either.
Yeah.
They
It's
just
just
feel a little hard.
if you help people and you're making good stuff, you shouldn't need a KPI. Like I mean, if you feel like you're not doing a good job, like you shouldn't work there. Like, like I don't know.
I like it. Jess, do you have anything to add before we do these couple of rapid fire questions I have?
I don't think so. Nope. I think I'm good.
All right, cool. So, Nick, thank you again. Do you have anything that you want to add before I give you eight quick, practical, actionable takeaway questions?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Buckle up. All right, so nothing crazy, but short answers. Nick, for someone who's never posted before, what should the first video be?
How you got into the business
Okay.
or a success story that you recently just had.
Okay. Somebody says, I've got nothing to post. What are you saying to them?
You do just film everything and you'll find something.
Perfect. One piece of content that everyone should be making right now.
TikToks. I don't know if that's a good enough answer, but if you're not on TikTok, you're behind.
Behind. Look at us. Okay. How many times a week should someone post realistically? Tuesday, Thursday is the minimum?
Tuesday, Thursday, the minimum. I'm also pretty like I don't do anything on weekends except for Burger 25 because they own me. But I that's an exception. Like I like to value weekend time. So like in my opinion, I'm not on social media as much on the weekend, so I don't post on the weekends.
Okay. What's the biggest social media mistake that you're seeing?
Trends. Nobody cares.
Oh,
I like they might get views. Nobody cares about the people may care about the trend, but nobody cares about the person doing the trend.
the
Like
retention isn't there.
like you could have someone if one of my clients gets 1 million views on a video, I can basically guarantee that it's going to get 1,000 followers. Like 1 million views, 1,000 followers. If you got 1 million views on a trend, you might lose followers. Like like nobody cares about like you're not following for the person you're following. You're not watching for the person, you're watching for the trend. So I'm pretty anti-trend. Some of
Okay.
them are good,
I
but
like that though. That's good
That's
to know. One thing people should stop doing besides trends.
my the first thought in my head was caring about cursing, but I'll
caring about cursing on.
thinking that you need a professional camera. Like also, let me put you on some game. The new iPhone is going to be insane if the rumors are true. It will be as good as my $7,000 camera. Like this shoots 4K 30 frames per second. When I first started in 2018, a camera that shot 4K cost $30,000. Like this thing is insane. So utilize it.
Wow. So to touch on that really quick, microphones. What do you do for microphones? Speaking of cameras.
I personally, I don't like to overcomplicate it. I don't think you need a microphone. If your office is very echoey, what you can do is like pillows, like right outside, you could put a pillow and it kind of masks the echo. But if you want to do phones, great. But sometimes people are like, "Oh, I'm using this mic because I bought it," but like actually listen to it. If it sounds like you're underwater, don't use the microphone.
Got
So,
it.
like the
Okay.
Rode Video Mic Pro is one of the worst microphones ever. I think it's the biggest scam on the planet. It's like $300 and it sounds terrible.
Oh, okay. Write that down, everybody. One thing that people should start doing.
You should start just filming yourself because the only way to get better is to keep on doing it. So even just like film yourself, make the video. If you don't want to post it, fine, but like put it somewhere. Like keep it on your desktop, whatever. Like feel like you did something. Don't just delete it.
Right. Okay. And last but not least, if you had to grow an account from zero, which you did,
I'm
what do you
doing
do
right now.
first? Yeah. What do you do first?
We just started a new client this morning. We did the story of how he got into the business. That's the first video. And then we'll do a bunch of like kind of get to know me and like a lot of people here. It would be more of a reintroduction to myself of like people, your followers know who you are. Like you're not starting from zero. But then I would be just like trying to find, I mean, like you need a pop. So like I'd be trying to find something crazy that I could make a video about. Like I I think it's so interesting the jobs of people that you're on the phone with. Like I find I we stay away from income, which is like so annoying because I'm like, they make that much doing that, but then it's like they only make that as a tech person. So it's I find that so interesting, but you really that's like an invasion of privacy in my head. So like we really try and stay away from that. But I would say like anything interesting. Like we made a video that a woman had three jobs. She's a college professor, a nurse, and something else, but Rocket Mortgage only did their mortgage on one job. So then they came to Annie Mac and then they switched it. And like they were able to qualify all three jobs. And in my opinion, that video could have been 10 times better because the way she talked about her jobs was so interesting, but you can't really do that. So I don't know. There's such interesting parts of this industry, but you just got to be tasteful with it,
Mhm.
which is tough. I didn't really answer the question, but
But
that's,
we're picking up what you're putting down.
yeah.
All
Well,
right, cool. Well, I think that pretty much sums up
I
for
survived.
you did a great
I didn't
job, really.
puke. I didn't
You were
puke. I felt
stressing. I
nauseous in the
know.
beginning.
I know. I think some of the biggest takeaways are get started. You don't need a fancy camera or a massive production budget or all of these people or anything like that. It could just be you and your iPhone to create good content that people are going to watch.
You, your iPhone, and 100 views. That's all you need. Like
That's,
you post anything, the algorithms are going to push it out to 100 people. That's all you need.
I love it. Great work. Thanks
this
for
is
joining today,
recorded.
everybody.
Yes, this is recorded. It'll be on YouTube. We'll send out a follow-up email after this. Yeah,
No
since
SeatGeek
Oh,
plug.
wait, I was going to say, do we want to talk about SeatGeek?
No,
The
no.
best app. You can get the best tickets for
I
shows,
want to get off
concerts.
this. Ugh.
awesome. Thank you guys. Hope you have a great day. Thanks, Nick.
See ya.
Bye.